What is up, everybody? It's Aaron and Ray back again with another episode of Franchise Tag Fantasy Football Podcast. We are coming at you. It is Thanksgiving week. It's going to be a little awkward week. Hopefully everyone gets fat and happy, as I like to call it. But today is going to be a waiver wire show. Yeah, Ray's just shaking his head. He hasn't said a single word to come into this.
I'm in mourning. It's a sad day for Ray. Been eliminated from our big money league on what seemed to be the biggest stinker anybody could put up. A 55-point week, one would say.
That is a pretty big stinker. My team's not far off behind you.
Let me tell you.
This has been a bad year.
I have this team I've drafted has been so up and down. One week I'll put up 140 points. And the next week, 55. It's crazy. I don't understand. But I digress. Aaron.
Dude, can we just talk about this real quick?
If
I were to tell you before the season that I had Justin Herbert, Alvin Kamara, where's he at? Jalen Waddle, Cooper Kupp, and I'm about to be 3-8.
Isn't that crazy?
It's tough.
Wow. I don't know. Shout out to Eric, though. Shout out to a great friend of the show, Eric, for consistently beating me for 8 years. But finally got a win.
I did it, Mom.
On a scanner. I finally did. In the league that doesn't matter. I got a win on him. So kudos to me. I think I'm in first place in that league. I don't know. Doesn't really matter that much.
What league?
Anyways, in the Sixer League.
You're definitely not.
I think that I might have taken it from you.
Oh, look, I'll show you.
Yeah. Anyways, Aaron, any standout mentions from this week's games? That's what's up. I would say if you were the Kirk Cousins owner and you started him this week, I apologize. Kirk Cousins, I apologize. Remember Aaron's champion, Kirk Cousins.
Hold on. To get back to your point in the Sixer, no, we both won this week, and I am ahead of you on points by 100 and about to be 25.
125 in that league, by the way, does not mean that much. It does not.
Super flex.
That does not mean that much. That's like one good game.
One good game, one bad game. 125 points. So
it's tough. That's tough. But a lot of stinkers this week. A lot of stinkers.
Yes.
Think about Damian Pierce starting him. My God.
I did start him.
That's tough.
That's super tough.
Imagine benching Chris Olave.
Oh, that's tough too. He went off.
Imagine benching him for Tony.
Yeah, that's not. Ouch. Thought process was there, but it just didn't work out.
The process was sound until it wasn't. Man, what happened? Kadarius Toney went out. Of course, he got hurt in the first quarter. Killed you. Absolutely killed you. Cascarius Toney killed you. I don't know. Whenever I want to bring this up, this is pertinent. Whenever I watch Travis Kelce, I don't get it. I don't like the math doesn't math in my head.
What do you mean?
How is he always so open every time?
I don't know. According to the whining Chargers fan in our group chat, he just pushes people over. He pushes people. Well, he's a tight end. He's on the line of scrimmage. He's supposed to block. You can have contact with him 5 yards. What do you expect?
I didn't read that whole chat, but I just want to.
He left. He got so mad that he left the conversation because he got so bent out of shape about the game.
Just for record,
Mike Williams, he also hurt you.
Mike Williams. Keenan Allen came back, looked good.
Oh yeah.
But the real talk of the town here, Josh Palmer, and we're going to bring his name up if there's a possibility and chance. Mike Williams is probably going to be hurt for a while. Let's get into the news and notes real fast, Aaron. Kind of beating around the raw bone, right? We're not really pointing in any direction here right now.
What do you mean?
Anything else you want to talk about from this last weekend? Any other pain?
No. At this point in time, man, it's moving on to next year.
Yeah, moving on to next year. So right now we're watching the Cardinals game. We are live during the Cardinals game, unfortunately, because we don't really have any pieces in this game that matter. Rondell Moore, questionable return with a groin injury. Most likely, I haven't seen him back out there yet. Probably out. James Conner going off. George Kittle going off.
Yeah.
As you should have.
Colt McCoy's looking pretty good, too, as a backup quarterback.
And Brandon Ayuk, he's that guy. He's taking a step.
You did call that earlier in the season too.
He's
That
taking a step.
Happen, so.
It looks good. He looks good. And Jimmy Garoppolo hasn't looked god awful this game. Not great, god awful, whatever. Other news: Odell watch. We're not going to bring.
We're on OBJ watch yet again.
We're not going to beat this horse to the ground. I think he goes to the Cowboys. He has to, right? Got to go to the Cowboys.
Yeah, I assume that he would.
Or the Buccaneers, because every receiver that is washed up goes there.
Did you just call OBJ washed up? Matthew Jenkins would be so mad at you right now.
Maybe he is. I'm trying to get him back in the comments. I need to see him again. I want to talk to him.
I think I pissed him off enough that he just left.
Hey, Matt, if you want a free shirt, let me know. I'll send you one.
I'll give you a window sticker so you can lick it.
Robert Saleh on the atrocious play
of the bum that is Zach Wilson.
Could you? Okay, I'm gonna cut the news right now just to ask you. Could you imagine playing on a team, being on a defense that held a team to 3 points for what 45 minutes of a game?
Yeah.
And your quarterback on the other side put up 3 points, 74 yards on an entire game, negative 26 yards in the second half. And his response was, "No, it's not my fault." What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? I am at the point of just no return with Zach Wilson.
You know what? And if I'm a defensive player and we go into padded practice that following week after he says no, the only answer was no. The red jersey doesn't fucking matter.
Look, man,
I'm cleaning your clock, bro. Give me Joe Flacco back.
If there is any way possible that he didn't go to the locker room on Monday and got the shit beat out of him by a bunch of socks full of soap, I'd be blowing my mind if he didn't. I can't believe that wouldn't happen. They went full metal jacket on his ass and just beat the hell out of him. Like, what are you doing?
Oh my god!
What a jabroni!
I don't. Dude's a bag of buns. I mean, that's what it is. The Jets wasted a pick on a quarterback. He's a bag of buns.
It's pathetic to say that Joe Flacco is a better option than anybody in the National Football League right now, but he absolutely is.
Well, what are you gonna do?
I need him for my Garrett Wilson take. Let me tell you, Garrett Wilson's real. I promise. He's really good. Back to the news now. We're back into the show.
Okay.
Sorry.
Regularly program schedule.
Sure, whatever you said.
For sure.
The meat and potatoes, the real potatoes. Robert Saleh said he is evaluating everything when it comes to Zach Wilson and his comments. Look, Robert Saleh needs to bench him. Justin Fields, considered day-to-day with a left shoulder injury. He also had a hamstring issue. Now, they didn't say that it was a hamstring tear. Didn't say that it was a hamstring pull. It didn't say anything like that. But I remember seeing him on the sidelines multiple times, getting his hamstring stretched out. So something to monitor. And that's especially going into playoff mode now. Those of you that are still in the playoffs, congratulations. Most likely you've clinched this week. You might want to start looking at the waiver wire for quarterbacks to stream, because hopefully Fields can get back out there.
Hopefully. I do want to point out David Montgomery was actually viable this time around, but Tristan Ebner, or whatever his name was, he didn't do a whole lot, but I did notice that he was still in the game. It's just weird to me. I don't think I don't think anything's gonna happen. I think it's just because Montgomery needed a break, but it's just like, man, he just didn't look very good. You know what I mean? So, but as you can see, once you finally get one bell cow running back in Chicago, they are,
He can't finish outside of a running back too, as long as he doesn't get hurt. He can't. Yeah. He's foolproof in that situation because of that offense. Kyle Pitts suffered a torn MCL. He is on IR. This will require surgery. It's not necessarily the worst news. MCLs are much easier to heal than your ACLs and whatnot and your patella tendons, but it is. Yeah,
well, my Kyle Pitts trade. Well, I mean, to be fair, I traded Melvin Gordon straight up for Kyle Pitts, so either way, I'm out of player.
Yeah. In that exact news, Melvin Gordon waived He got completely
God.
waived from the Broncos. I don't know what's going on with the Broncos. I'm tired. I'm tired of all Wilsons that are at quarterback. I'm tired of all of them. Can we get them off of the NFL docket?
Not allowed.
You know, there's a TikTok right now out there, like an actual channel dedicated to this guy that goes through, and every week he gives a weekly report on the Broncos. Every week, it's did Russell Wilson score more touchdowns on this season than he has bathrooms in his house? And it is week 11 going into week 12. He still has not.
He still hasn't scored more touchdowns than bathrooms in his house? How many bathrooms are... Oh, he's got 12?
He's got 12 bathrooms.
He might not beat that all season.
He might not. That's why the channel's been going for 11 weeks, and he's been right for 11 weeks. Kudos to that guy. I don't know what his... I gotta get his handle. That guy, good for him, man. Good for him.
That's funny.
Lions news, Jameson Williams is able to return from the PUP. He's been activated. I don't know if he plays this week, but I think he has. I don't know the rule. I don't know if you know it. You don't have to look it up. It's okay. I don't think it's necessary news right now. But I think that he has to be activated within 12 days. I'm sorry, 21 days. Similar to the IR, I think, but I don't really. We'll vet that. We'll get to that.
Yes, it is. I believe it is the same.
Yeah, we'll vet it. We'll get it to the next episode. I think it would take forever to do that. Hopkins is playing tonight. Wan'Dale Robinson tore his ACL. Season's over. Didn't matter. It sucked because he was being involved. It sucked. He was involved. The offense looked better with him until that point. Not really. They were getting blown out anyway. Clyde Edwards-Helaire out. Most likely lost his job. I don't know if he should be rostered at this point anymore.
He won't be back.
Yeah, Isaiah Pacheco is taking that job 100% of the way. We already mentioned Kadarius Toney, and that is it for the injury news. That is it.
I want to point back to Kyle Pitts.
Okay.
I traded for him because I thought that the second half of the season would be better for him. He only played 44% of the snaps, but he had already had 5 targets, 3 receptions, at 43 yards. Mm-hmm. Even with him only playing less than half of a game, he still didn't necessarily kill you if you did start him. But it sucks because now I feel like that was going to be the trend of where it continuously steadily started. We started to see the Kyle Pitts that everyone wanted Kyle Pitts to be, but unfortunately that's what happens.
Maybe that kind of adjusts his draft price next season, and you can get value on him next season. Definitely something, again, in the offseason, we're going to cover some things, probably something to monitor really closely, because I think that might, how his season went this season, how he's going to come off an injury, it doesn't change the fact that he's 6'6", he runs a 4.4, and he's the most athletic person on that team by a mile.
Oh yeah.
So, but it scares me again because he could be another Evan Ingram.
That is fair.
Yeah, or Tyler Eifert. Oof.
No, I mean Evan Ingram's not doing too bad, and
I mean this is the only year he has. His rookie year and this year, that's it.
But it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things that is you're not, if they get a rookie quarterback next year, that you're not going to want Kyle Pitts anyways. So
in a keeper, I think that his ADP would be on par with something at least reasonable to take a look at.
Yeah, that is fair. Can we talk about Jamal Williams being the sole possession of most rushing touchdowns in the NFL?
We were a week early, Aaron.
What do you mean?
We said that he was the leading rusher, touchdown scorer at running back last week.
That's true. He added 3 more on top of his 9.
And we were like, we're a week early. But guess what? Jamal Williams needs to be started every week. Every week.
The weird thing is, too, though, is DeAndre Swift scored as well, so he didn't kill you this week.
No.
Still not very good from DeAndre Swift, but he scored, so you're cool with it. Only played 31% of the snaps. Definitely not where you want it to be, but Jamal Williams only played 48, so
I don't know of a situation where I would not be interested in starting Jamal Williams right now.
I agree.
I don't
agree completely.
Name one, honestly. And we brought one up this last episode, and you know what? I think Jamal Williams is a must start until proven otherwise.
Yep, probably.
So
probably is.
Anything else, Aaron, till we get to waivers? We're boot scooting boogieing through this episode, let me tell you.
There's nothing to talk about this week. I don't think so. Let's hear a word. What's up?
I can talk about pain for a little bit. I can do that.
No, we don't need that.
We don't need
You already
that.
did earlier.
Yeah.
Let's hear a word from our sponsors and then, come right back.
Hey everyone, this show is brought to you by Driffles Jerky. Are you like us and love beef jerky, but hate paying those high prices for subpar meat? Well, at DrifflesJerky.com, they have the money meat.
You said the money meat?
That's right, the money meat. Great tasting beef jerky made from top quality cuts of beef at great prices. Use promo code FranchiseTag to get yourself 10% off on your order today.
That's DRIFFILLS jerky.com. All right, everybody, we are back, and we're going to hit you guys with our waiver wire options this week. We'll start off with quarterbacks first, as always. Ray, you typically have some spicy ones to jump out of the gate with, so let's hear them.
Well, not this week. So I think the number one ad for me is Trevor Lawrence against Baltimore this week. I think that's because it's hard to say Baltimore is going to come out the gate swinging, but they have to, right? Why didn't they make a trade for a quarter or for a receiver? Trevor Lawrence needs to be rostered and started in a good amount of leagues. I think he's been serviceable, pretty good.
Yeah,
Better than Kirk Cousins last week. Let me tell you.
Yeah, well, it's not going to finish that way, so we'll just go out on a limb and say that that's not going to be the median for the rest of it.
Who else you got, Aaron?
So for me, I would like to bring up Geno Smith if he's 71% rostered across the sleeper platform. He might be there, even if you're in a sticky pickle. I mean, next week there's no one on bye, so you're probably pretty good. But if you're trying to pivot off of your streaming options, Geno Smith would be a good streaming candidate. Because they play Las Vegas
this week. You could start seeing some of those backup quarterbacks in people's rosters start falling off of those rosters, especially because of some of the running backs that have shown up, some of the receivers that might need to be rostered. Those might need to be moved on. Maybe people are setting up for defenses in the playoffs. So if you needed a quarterback in a pinch, say you're the Justin Fields owner, this is who we're really talking to. Mm-hmm. I think that these are going to be some viable options. I like that call. I like that move. Jimmy G, he's 60% owned. He's looking fine right now. Looks fine. I don't think he's going to blow the doors off the gate, but what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
What else we say, Aaron?
That's pretty much it, man. I mean,
Ryan Tannehill in a pinch.
Ryan Tannehill in a pinch.
Taylor Heineke plays against Atlanta.
Yeah, Taylor Heineke too. I was gonna say trade deadline's already passed, so
yeah,
you can't go get one of these guys.
Yeah,
for him. But that's pretty much. I mean, realistically, quarterback's thin this week. No one's on. No one's really on bye. So if you are the Fields owner and are kind of scared about it, I'm with you. I'd probably go Lawrence. I would go Geno first, see if he's there. Then I would go if he's not. I would go Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence is 50% on if I said that or not. He should be out there in half of the leagues.
I'd go Lawrence, Garoppolo, Heineke,
and then Tannehill.
Yeah, and then Tannehill like break glass in case of emergency.
And that emergency sucks, and you're about to eat a shit sandwich.
They played not Cincinnati. Excuse me.
Tough
this week. So up next at the running back position, Ray. This is where it gets a little
spicier, right?
A little thicker in the mix here.
Yeah. Latavius Murray.
Yes.
He is 25% owned in all sleeper leagues.
Mm-hmm.
He's most likely out there, and whatever fab you have left, if you need a running back, I'd burn it on Latavius Murray. I'd burn it.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably where I'd go, or maybe at least half of whatever fab you have left. Because they released Melvin Gordon. They clearly like Latavius Murray. But why not take a shot? Yeah. Of course, I cut him last week, but it doesn't matter for me anymore. But Kyron, is that funny? Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's crazy.
Welcome to the pain of being a week early.
Just that's how I am. Just a week early, a little early.
Yeah,
a little quick. I swear it never happens. Kyron Williams. Let's talk about Kyron Williams for a little bit, huh?
Okay, go ahead.
31% owned.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
I understand that he only had 5 points in fantasy last week.
Yep.
But it's pretty clear they're trying to phase out Darrell Williams. Pretty clear.
Do you mean
Right?
Darrell Henderson?
No, I'm sorry, Darrell Henderson. Sorry, Darrell Henderson.
Yeah.
Cam Akers didn't necessarily look great, although he did lead in carries. I think he had 14 carries for 61 yards. Kyron had 7 carries for 36 yards. Now, the reason I bring that up, though, reason I bring Kyron's name up is the end of their schedule. Basically all of it. They play Kansas City, Seattle, Vegas, Green Bay. These are all great matchups. And if he takes that job away from Cam Akers, man, you got to smash steel for sure.
Yep.
I wouldn't spend a ton of fab on him, but it's definitely something to monitor. He was highly drafted. It's just, it seems like the move. I like that move.
I agree. I think I can agree with that. I'd like to bring up a couple of the more so handcuffs. I think there's not really much else to do other than that. We're in the point in the season where everyone who's going to be anybody's pretty much already picked up. Now you're kind of just waiting for an injury, and no one really likes to pray for an injury or hope for an injury, but they do happen. James Cook.
I was just looking at it right now.
James Cook should be now. He's to the point where he's integrated in the offense. We're in the back half of the season. He's still a rookie, but in the organization size, he's not a rookie. You've been here for half of a season now. You know the playbook. You should know what you're doing, and it showed. 11 carries, 86 yards this past game.
Yeah, and Singletary did look good too, but
yeah,
I mean, Singletary goes down. They're not using Nyheim Hines. It's not happening.
No, yeah, and I don't know what the whole point of that trade was. I don't know why they got Nyheim Hines, or maybe just depth at the position.
I don't know. James Cook looked good. I don't understand.
Yeah, James Cook should be rostered. Yeah,
agreed.
And then next one I wanted to bring up was you brought him up early in the year, Isaiah Spiller.
Yeah, I think I was pretty early on Isaiah Spiller. You would have had to hold him for a really long time, and it was probably better to cut bait. You didn't know what it was going to be in the beginning of the season, and how Austin Eckler looked. It looked like he was going to get replaced in the beginning of the season.
Yeah. So it's one of those things that he's not super involved. He's not like, oh my God, he's running, 60-40 splits. No, but it's just in case Eckler goes down or something like that happens, you can then just go pick him up.
And look, he's looked good with the carries he got last night. He looked fine. I don't think he looks like Austin Eckler. Who does, right? That bald-headed aggression.
Yeah.
Did you know that David Johnson's on the
David
Saints?
Johnson? Yes, I did know that.
I didn't until right this very second. Matt Breida needs to be rostered if you are the Saquon Barkley owner.
Agreed.
Agreed. I wouldn't spend any money on this. I wouldn't make a big deal about it. Samaje Perine.
Okay.
He needs to be brought up real fast.
Mm-hmm.
How serious is Joe Mixon's concussion?
Nobody knows.
They didn't say anything else about it except for he was out.
Anything about it, yeah. And
Samaje Perine looked good. I don't think he's going to supplant Joe Mixon by any means. But if you needed a week start and Mixon is out, might be, if you're the Mixon owner, might be worth picking up. Might be worth going and grabbing that. He is currently 12% owned in all leagues. 2% started. Look, if you started Samaje Perine, I really need to know. I need to put it in the comments. I need to know. I need to see a picture name that said, yeah, I started Samaje Perine. He's my running back one this week. What of it?
Stop it.
Sorry, I wasn't so smooth.
I would call that person a time traveler and tell the government they need to investigate.
Guy's lying through his teeth. Any other names?
Oh, no.
Okay. On to receivers. My receiver pickup of the week, Aaron. Because you're probably going to be cutting ties with Tony very early after that 0 point. Looks like he's not coming back for a couple weeks. That's unfortunate. He's so good. Yeah, he's so injury prone. Hamstrings made of string cheese.
I was going to say like really old crusty rubber bands. How sometimes you stretch them too far and they crackle apart and break.
Yeah, that's another comp. Yeah,
that's what I would go with.
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Oh my God. Ugh.
Donovan Peoples-Jones. I don't care what anybody else says now. It's every week this man is at least getting points. He's being involved, right?
Yeah, sure. For sure, dude.
Bring in a better quarterback, hopefully, in Deshaun Watson. What happens?
Wait, what?
Bring back a better quarterback with Deshaun Watson and see what happens, right?
Bring back?
I guess bring into the fold. That would probably be a better way to put it, right?
That's fair.
He likes the deep ball. Who is the closest to a Will Fuller archetype?
Not the word choice I would use, but yeah.
Hey, yeah. Deshaun Watson. He should be, if he's still out there and you're the Justin Fields owner, bam, there you go. Didn't think about it. If he hasn't been rostered yet.
Oh, that's fair. I didn't think about it just now either.
Yeah. Didn't think about it till right now. Yeah, Donovan Peoples-Jones probably my pickup of the week for receiver. I would probably burn at this point in the league and how much fab you have left, probably 25%.
Oof.
Can't take it with you.
It's fair.
Can't take it with you. Trying to think of some other names. Wan'Dale Robinson can be cut. Ben Skoranek is indeed trash.
I told you. I was gonna say that was the name I was gonna bring up.
Go ahead.
Throw him on the back of your bench to see if he's a stash. I mean, Green Bay, who's supposed to have a stout pass defense, they let him have 111 yards. Like they just let him have a day. So he's proven that he can do it.
I don't trust anything that plays against Green Bay at this point.
That's it. That's all I have to say. Jarvis Landry was pretty involved too.
Yeah.
I mean, not pretty involved, 4 for 3, but he did have some red zone targets.
Yeah, he had some work. I hesitantly want to say no. I'm not going to. I refuse. No.
Yeah, don't do it.
You already saw it. I was going to. Demarcus Robinson.
Yep.
Demarcus Robinson probably needs to be rostered as well. He looks like he's the number one pass catcher outside of Mark Andrews. Now, that doesn't really mean that he's going to be that much. What they needed was to go and get a real receiver is what they needed to do. They didn't do that. I still hate Michael Gallup, but I mean, if he's still out there, might be worth taking a shot at. But he's 64% owned. I'm telling you, DPJ is a better option.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, he might be.
Yeah.
I'm clicking through some names here. Another one I would probably bring up would be Quez Watkins for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Deeper leagues,
but he's morphed over the past few weeks into just the deep shot guy.
He should have been. He ran a 4.240.
Yeah, he's been the deep shot guy, and they've been converting on those this past few games, so it's worked out for him. Anyways, that's pretty much it, right?
I got one more.
Who?
Hold your nose when I say this. Drake London.
Yeah.
Now, hear me out.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
All those targets that were going over Kyle Pitts' head might as well go over Drake London's head now, right? Well, what if Drake London could jump a little higher? I don't know.
I doubt it, but
I doubt it too. But hey, what's worse than being a week late?
Being a week early.
It is pretty bad being a week early, but it's worth taking a shot on if you're a desperate at receiver. You got a spot to fill. You're looking to get something for free. I wouldn't spend any fab on it. No, thank you. But definitely something to look at.
Look up and see if Darius Slayton is rostered in your leagues too.
Yes, that's a good name. Yes, thank you and Paris Campbell.
Yes, thank you. Actually rostered him and played him, and he broke the 8.5 point threshold that you deem to be a good fantasy game.
It's not a good fantasy game. It's just not going to.
It doesn't kill you.
It didn't murder you in the seas.
Well, yeah. Well, it murdered me anywhere. So who cares? Anyways, all right. Tight ends. Tight ends.
Darius Slayton is 58% owned. I didn't know that, but it's still widely available.
Almost half. Yeah.
Widely available.
Or a little over half. Tight ends. If you lost Kyle Pitts, where are you going to go? I mean, technically, you should have been playing him anyways, but
to the dumpster to go find another piece of trash.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. Pat Freiermuth might be available on your. Nah, he's 86% owned. I don't know how he's on ours.
Gesicki?
Juwan Johnson.
Yeah.
Juwan Johnson, 30% owned, looking involved. He is, good God. Is he the receiver or the tight end 4 on the season?
Don't know. Do you have his name?
Juwan Johnson. I'm looking at it right now. I think he's a tight end 4.
Pick him up.
Yeah, because listen to those last fantasy starts. Listen to this, okay? I'm going to go back from week 11. 12.2 points, 12.9 points, 11.2 points. That's a 2.4. That's a standard tight end game. 17.7 points, 6, 1, 4, 0, 6, 5. So he started really taking over at week 7. But, I mean, from week 7 to week 11, that alone might get you into the tight end 5 mix.
He's currently on the season, standard and PPR scoring the tight end 7.
That's pretty damn close. I don't know. He's looked involved. He's looked involved. Juwan Johnson, absolutely gonna be my tight end pickup of the week.
What league?
In what league?
Yeah.
What do you mean, what league?
Oh, you're just calling him your tight end. Your
for
pickup of the week. This is your number one target guy.
No, not it wouldn't be my number one target. I think Latavius Murray is my target. But as a tight end, if I'm looking to get tight end, that's where I would go.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
Tyler Conklin's useless. I'm looking for maybe Kyle Granson. What's he been doing? Nothing. He's 4% on. Nothing at all.
Nothing.
So yeah,
nothing.
It's looking like that's gonna be it.
I agree.
Can you imagine, like a few years ago, Hunter Henry being the hottest thing since sliced ass, and someone would tell you that he'd get traded to the Patriots, and you're like, oh man, he must be blowing up, going nuclear, right? 1 reception, 4 receptions, 1 reception, 2 receptions. That's his stat line for the last 4 weeks.
It's rough. I mean, also, Mac Jones isn't Tom Brady, and he's not Gronk.
He's not anything.
He's not.
He's nothing.
Can you? We talked about this before, but can you just imagine if Aaron Hernandez didn't murder somebody?
I mean, I'm sure that the family of that person he murdered imagines that a lot.
That's fair.
You wanted to bring it there, and I just went all over the hill.
I know. I'm just talking about it in a football perspective. We might not know Rob Gronkowski to be the Rob Gronkowski that we know.
I don't know. When you're an all-time great, you just kind of end up being an all-time great. So it's just that's kind of how it is.
Who knows?
They were going to trade him.
Who knows?
They're going to trade him to Detroit.
Who?
Gronk. No, he told him he was going to retire if they did.
Yeah, and he's just going to go there to wilt and die.
So he said, "I'm going to retire," and they said, "Okay, we're not going to do it." That's exactly what happened.
I know. He went that 1 year in 2019 because Tom left him.
Yeah.
So he retired.
Outside of that, there is no tight end that maybe Brock Wright. Maybe Brock. No, not Brock Wright. That's it. That's all the tight ends I'd like to talk about. They're gross. They're stinky. Juwan Johnson is probably the number 1 pickup.
They're gross. Yep, that is true. Tight end Juwan Johnson is probably the number 1 pickup. I will give you that much for sure.
Defenses, and I think this is important.
No.
I think it's important.
Please no.
So, the Commanders playing against Atlanta next week.
Mm-hmm.
They play against Atlanta. That's nice.
Yeah.
They won't necessarily be a smash start every week, but they do play the Giants right after that. Then they go on a bye. Then they play the Giants again. Are you really afraid of the Giants offense so much so that you wouldn't be willing to start a defense against them?
Yeah.
I would start a defense against them.
Yeah, I mean, I would play defense against them. I'd play it the first week. Then when they go on bye, I wouldn't be afraid to drop them. See what happens.
Yeah, but it's a nice little stretch of games that they might have.
I want to bring up the Chiefs play the Rams in Week 12.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams completely suck, and the Chiefs' offense is pretty good.
That'd be a really good stream. The Bears against the Jets next week, and then they get the Green Bay Football Packers right after that.
It's not what I thought that F word was going to be coming out of your mouth.
It's a smash start twice. Look at that.
Hey, there you go.
Two of the worst offenses in the league.
if you are a playoff primer team here, where you are priming for the playoffs, you should look at dropping people who are not going to make it in your lineup and potentially rostering 2 defenses that you can flip flop that have pretty good matchups throughout the rest of the season. Yeah, and some handcuff running backs.
I'm still looking through a couple more defenses to see how they finish up the season.
Carolina Panthers do play the Denver Broncos.
Yep.
So Carolina's defense is actually pretty decent. It's just their offense takes such a hit for how bad their whole team is that their defense just gets buried along with them. But yes, and then on that note, the Denver Broncos play the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, if they're available, yeah, definitely. I'm still looking around.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that stat is still intact? Where if the Broncos could have just scored 18 points, they would be 9-1.
I can believe that.
It's still there.
Can't. Imagine Broncos fans' chagrin.
Chagrin.
It means shame or pain or disgrace.
Oh, never mind. They would be. Excuse me. They would be. What is it? 9-2. How many points did the Raiders put up?
I would also be interested. Never mind. No, I wouldn't.
Well,
Take it back.
Yep.
Nope.
Take it back.
Nope.
Take it back.
Take it back.
We're done with
That's
defenses.
That's it.
Anybody want to talk about kickers?
Nope.
Do we need to talk about kickers?
Nope. Not at all.
Are you sure we don't need to talk about kickers?
100% sure.
100% sure.
Pick a kicker, put him in your lineup. Who gives a shit?
Pick a kicker, put him in your lineup because one week you could get, a goose, or the next week you could have 22 points from Brett Maher. It just. And if anyone's like, kickers is a strategy, yeah, you want a high-powered offense, but you don't expect someone's team to get boat raced and lose 40-3. So, pain for anybody that played against Brett Maher because the Cowboys just came out and just shellacked the Vikings.
Shellacked and smacked.
It's fucking just.
You rack them, we'll bag them.
Good God. Anyways, got anything else, Ray?
No, sir, that's it.
Cool. Let's end this show right here, guys. As always, please go to drifflesjerky.com and use code franchise tag for 10% off of your order. Please join our Discord at the link below. Ray will, be sure to let you know what he's thinking or answer any and all questions that you have. I will too, but he's just faster than I am. Please join us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It's the